She said, "Don't wait up tonight." So I didn't. Instead, I took her car to the mechanic and found a hotel key card in the glove box. When she came home at 3 a.m., I was sitting on the couch holding it. She froze. I said, "So, how was room 402? I'm a 46-year-old guy living in Columbus, Ohio. Been married to my wife, Rachel, for 18 years. We've got 2 kids. Emma's 16, Jake's 13. Life was never flashy, but it felt right. Or at least I thought it did. I work in logistics, managing freight, scheduling routes, dealing with warehouses. It's not glamorous, but it pays the bills. Rachel's a nurse at Riverside Methodist Hospital. She's been there for years. Always worked hard. Always had a lot on her plate. I respected that. Hell, I admired it. For a long time, things were good. We weren't a fairy tale, but we were solid. We argued sometimes, sure, but nothing serious. We had a routine. Family dinners, movie nights, occasional date nights when we could sneak them in between the kids' activities and her shift schedule. But 6, maybe 7 months ago, something changed. She started picking up more night shifts. That's what she said, anyway. At first, I didn't think much of it. Nurses get called in. Hospitals are understaffed. It made sense. But then it became every week. Then twice a week. Sometimes even weekends. Always nights. And when she was home, she was not really there. She started guarding her phone like it was a winning lottery ticket. It never left her hand. She'd go to the bathroom with it, take it to the shower. The screen was always dimmed. She started sleeping with it under her pillow. I asked once, jokingly, "What? You got a secret admirer texting you?" She laughed it off. "It's hospital stuff. HIPAA. Can't have the kids seeing patient names." Okay, I thought. That's fair. I'm not in the medical field. Maybe that's a real concern. But the feeling didn't go away. You know when you just know something's off? No hard proof. No smoking gun. But your gut won't stop screaming? Yeah, that. I didn't confront her. I didn't snoop. I'm not that guy. I wanted to believe she was just tired. Overworked. Maybe we were in a rough patch. Life happens. We'd been through worse. But last Friday night, she said something that flipped a switch in me. She was dressed nicer than usual. Full makeup. Hair done. Perfume. Not the scrubs, not the messy bun. She looked like she was heading out to dinner. I said, "Since when do nurses get dolled up for the night shift?" She smiled. Said, "We've got a few VIPs in tonight. You never know who's going to walk into the ER." Then she kissed my cheek and said, "Don't wait up tonight." Those words hit different. I nodded. Didn't argue. Didn't show anything. Just smiled back. But the whole night, I couldn't sit still. I kept thinking about that phrase, "Don't wait up." Something about it didn't sit right. So I made a choice. The next morning, she was still at work. I told the kids I was running errands and took her car instead of mine. Claimed mine needed gas. I drove straight to my buddy Steve's shop. He runs a small garage off Hudson Street. I told him I wanted to get her oil changed as a surprise. He waved me in. While I waited, I opened the glove box to look for the manual. And that's when I saw it. A hotel key card. Plain white, with the Marriott logo in the corner. Room 402. I froze. Just stared at it. I turned it over, like maybe there'd be a reasonable explanation printed on the back. There wasn't. I didn't know what to do at first. My heart was pounding, my hands shaking. I'm not a dramatic guy, but in that moment, I felt like the air had been sucked out of the world. I didn't call her. I didn't text. I didn't go to the hotel. I didn't even tell Steve what I found. I just drove home and waited. All day, I kept running through scenarios in my head, trying to come up with some innocent reason, some excuse that didn't involve her lying, cheating, breaking everything we built. But by midnight, she still wasn't home. 1 a.m., nothing. 2 a.m., still nothing. Then, at 3:08 a.m., the front door opened. She walked in quietly, shoes in her hand, like she was trying not to wake anyone. Her hair was messy, makeup smudged. Her eyes met mine. She froze. Because I was sitting on the couch, holding the key card between my fingers like a playing card. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I just looked her dead in the eye and asked, "So, how is room 402? She didn't move. Didn't blink. Her face turned pale. She just stood there like a statue. For a second, I thought maybe she'd lie. Try to gaslight me. But she didn't. She sat down across from me, put her face in her hands. And then she said, "I'm so sorry." I didn't say anything. I just stared at her, waiting. She said it was a doctor from the hospital. She didn't name him. Said it started 3 months ago. Said it was emotional at first, but things happened. I asked her how many times. She said she didn't know. I asked her if she loved him. She said, I don't know what I feel anymore. That hit harder than anything else. She didn't cry right away. That came later. At first, she just looked empty, like she was watching her life collapse in slow motion. And honestly, so was I. After she said, I don't know what I feel anymore, the room went quiet. The kind of quiet that screams in your ears. I sat there, still holding the key card. I looked at it again, like maybe if I stared long enough, it would vanish. Like maybe this was all a dream, and I'd wake up in my bed next to the woman I thought I married. But it wasn't a dream. And she was sitting right in front of me, looking like a stranger. I asked, why him? She shook her head. I don't know. It wasn't supposed to go that far. I stood up. I couldn't sit anymore. I was shaking, not with rage, but something worse. That deep kind of hurt that you don't have a name for. You have 2 kids, I said, my voice low. You had a husband who trusted you. And this is what you do. She just kept staring at the floor. I said, you know what hurts the most? You didn't even try to hide it well. You got lazy. You brought his world into mine. I held up the key card. You left this where I could find it. In the glove box. In our family car. She didn't say a word. I walked out of the room. Didn't slam the door. Didn't yell. Just walked into the kitchen, poured myself a glass of water, and sat at the table. I didn't sleep that night. Neither did she. She stayed on the couch. I stayed in the kitchen. That whole night, all I could think about was how many times she'd lied. While I was at work. While I was helping the kids with homework. While I was paying bills. While she was texting him in the same house we raised our children in. The next morning, I woke up to Jake knocking on the kitchen door. Dad, where's Mom? I said she was in the living room. He looked confused. She didn't come to bed? I said, things are a little different now. I'll explain soon. I didn't want to tell them. But I also didn't want them to hear it from anyone else. Kids aren't stupid. They know when something's wrong. And in our house, the air was thick with it. I sat both of them down that evening. Rachel sat on the other side of the room, silent. I told them the truth, at least, the parts they needed to know. Your mom and I are having a hard time. There were some choices made that hurt the family. We're going to need some time apart. Emma didn't say anything. She just looked at her mom, then at me, and back again. Jake asked, are you getting divorced? I said, I don't know yet. Emma stood up, tears in her eyes. Is it because of her? She pointed at Rachel. Rachel finally spoke. Emma, please. Emma cut her off. Don't. I saw your phone once. A few weeks ago. You said it was a hospital group chat. But I saw hearts. Kisses. A man's name. That was the first time I heard Rachel cry since the night before. I looked at Emma. Why didn't you say anything? She said, because I didn't want to break the family. I thought maybe I was wrong. That wrecked me. Here's where it gets twisted. A week later, I was at Kroger getting groceries. My head was somewhere else. I was pushing a cart and almost bumped into a guy in a sharp blue suit. He looked familiar. Couldn't place it at first. Then I saw it. The hospital badge clipped to his chest. Riverside Methodist. Name tag read Dr. Carl Mendez. The name meant nothing until I saw the watch. A Rolex Submariner. The same one I saw in a photo on Rachel's phone background a few weeks earlier. She said it was a patient's gift. I didn't question it. Now I was looking at the guy wearing it. We locked eyes. He gave me this nod. The kind men give each other when they're pretending they don't know the truth. That's when I knew. He was him. I didn't confront him. Not there, not then. But something in me snapped. I followed him. Not for long. Just wanted to see what car he drove. What kind of life he lived. He walked to a silver Mercedes. Clean. Expensive. Parked perfectly. License plate read, DOC 402. I swear I nearly laughed. Room 402. He wasn't even hiding it. Part 5. The decision. That night, I went home, packed a bag, and left. Didn't tell Rachel where I was going. Just left her a note. Don't wait up tonight. I checked into the same Marriott where the key card came from. Room 402 is booked. I asked for the room next door. The walls were thin. I sat in that room, alone, for hours. Thinking. Not crying. Not raging. Just thinking. What was I doing? Why was I here? Was I trying to punish myself? Was I trying to understand her? Was I hoping he'd show up so I could look him in the eye? Maybe all of it. Maybe none of it. The next day, I went to a lawyer. Not to file. Just to talk. And then, 2 days later, I got a message on Facebook. From a woman named Sierra Mendez. The last name hit me hard. The first sentence? Even harder. Hi. I think your wife is sleeping with my husband. Can we talk? So yeah, Sierra Mendez. I stared at her message for a full minute. Reread it 4 times. My first thought? Damn, so he's married too. That was the first real twist I didn't see coming. I messaged her back. Yeah, let's talk. We agreed to meet at a local Panera Bread the next morning. Public place. Safe. Neutral. When I walked in, she was already there, sitting by the window with a large coffee. No makeup, hair pulled back. Eyes red like she hadn't slept. We didn't even need to introduce ourselves. She stood up, gave me a tired smile, and we shook hands like 2 war veterans meeting after the battle had already blown both our homes apart. She got right to it. They've been seeing each other for 5 months. I found out 2 weeks ago. I was going to confront them, but then I found your name through her social media. I figured I'd reach out. How do you know it's been 5 months? I asked. She pulled out her phone and handed it to me. There were screenshots, texts, emails, a photo of a receipt from that same damn hotel. Room 402 was practically branded into my brain at this point. I looked through the messages. Same sweet talk garbage Rachel used to send me 10 years ago. And then I saw something that made my stomach drop. A photo of Rachel. In our kitchen. Wearing my hoodie. Caption from Carl. God, you look so good in his clothes. I handed the phone back without saying anything. Sierra looked at me, eyes wide. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to show you that one. I just wanted you to see I'm not making it up. No, I said. It's good I saw it. I need the whole truth. She nodded. I have one more thing. I didn't know if I should say this, but I think your wife might not be his only one. I blinked. What? She leaned in. He's done this before. I found flirty messages to another nurse 6 months ago. When I confronted him, he told me it was just jokes, nothing serious. I let it go. But now, I don't know anymore. So let's do the math here. My wife is cheating with a married man. That man has possibly cheated with more than one woman. And we're both sitting across from each other, trying to piece together our wrecked marriages like a crime scene. But that's not even the worst of it. Because then Sierra said something that turned my blood cold. He said something strange in one of the emails. Said he was sick of waiting for her to leave you. Said he was tired of playing second. I sat back. What are you saying? She looked at me. I'm saying I don't think this was just an affair. I think he wanted more. I think maybe she wanted more too. Maybe she's been planning something behind your back. I didn't say a word. But in my head, I was already replaying every weird moment, every unexplained late shift, every cold shoulder. It started to feel less like a mistake and more like a slow, careful exit. I went home that night in a haze. Rachel was gone, probably at work or at him. I didn't care. I went straight to my home office, logged into our bank account. Savings, drained by $22,000. I checked the transactions. Transfers made over the last 5 months. Always small, always rounded. One week it was $1,200. Another week, $800. All to the same investment account I'd never seen before. The email linked to it? A new one. Rachel used her maiden name. I didn't know whether to scream or laugh. The money was in her name. She was building a cushion, an escape plan. I called her. She didn't answer. I texted her, we need to talk. Now. She replied an hour later. Can't talk. At work. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I messaged Carl. Tell her I know. About the account. The money. Everything. If she doesn't come home tonight, the next message goes to the HR department at Riverside. He read it within seconds. No reply. But an hour later, Rachel walked through the door. Eyes red. Silent. She dropped her purse, sat down, and stared at me like I was the one who'd burned the house down. I never meant for it to get this far, she said. I was done with vague answers. What were you going to do, Rachel? Leave me? Take the kids? Start a new life with him? She shook her head. It wasn't like that. Then what was it? She didn't answer. And then, for the second time in 2 days, another bomb dropped. I think I might be pregnant. Everything went still. You think? I haven't confirmed it yet. I stood up. Is it mine? I don't know. She stood there, frozen. The words hung in the air like smoke you can't breathe in. I think I might be pregnant. I looked at her. Really looked at her. My wife, who I'd built a life with, raised kids with, celebrated anniversaries with. Now standing in front of me, not even sure if the baby inside her was mine. I asked again, slower this time. Is it mine, Rachel? Tears welled in her eyes. But she didn't answer. That silence told me everything. I backed away, like I could physically distance myself from what she just dropped on me. Jesus Christ. I didn't plan this, she said. It just happened. And I was scared. I still am. I laughed, bitter, hollow. You were scared? You're the one who chose this. Who kept choosing it? I didn't walk into a hotel room. I didn't drain our savings. I didn't destroy this family. She stepped toward me, arms trembling. I never meant to destroy anything. I was lonely. You stopped seeing me. Everything became about work, about the kids. And you didn't think I felt that too? I yelled. You didn't think I was exhausted, or stressed, or burnt out. But I didn't go find someone else to crawl into bed with. She winced like I slapped her. Then, another voice. Emma, standing in the hallway. Her face pale. You're pregnant? Rachel turned, stunned. Emma, honey. Emma stepped back. Don't honey me. I heard everything. Jake appeared behind her. Is the baby his? He asked flatly. The other guy? Rachel's face crumpled. I don't know. Jake looked at me. Are you leaving us, Dad? My heart broke right there. No, buddy. I would never leave you. But you're gonna leave her, right? He asked. The room spun. My kids, both of them, thrust into this hell they didn't ask for. Emma stormed out the front door. Jake followed her, yelling her name. I tried to run after them, but Rachel grabbed my wrist. We have to talk. I yanked my arm away. No, we're done talking. Public exposure. 2 days later, I was at work trying to piece myself back together when I got an email from a private Gmail account. It was a video. No message. Just a file named Riverside_402_cam.mp4. I almost didn't open it. But curiosity is poison. I clicked. Security footage. Grainy, black and white. Rachel, Carl, kissing in the hallway outside room 402. Timestamp. For days before she told me she might be pregnant. The video had been sent to my inbox and CC'd to the hospital's HR department. Within hours, Rachel was suspended from work pending an internal investigation. So was Carl. I never found out who sent it. Could have been Sierra. Could have been someone from the hotel. Didn't matter. It was out now. The fallout. Rachel came home crying. Full breakdown. They fired me, she sobbed. Everything is gone. I didn't hug her. I didn't offer comfort. She looked up at me. I messed everything up. I nodded. Yeah, you did. We sat at opposite ends of the kitchen table. I made an appointment, she said finally. To find out. For the pregnancy? She nodded. I need to know whose it is. Okay, I said. But I won't be here when you get back. She stared at me. You're leaving. I rented a place, I told her. I'll be moving out tomorrow. The kids can stay here until the school year ends. Then we figure it out. I'm sorry, she said. You don't get to fix this with sorry. She broke. Just fell apart. But I couldn't bring myself to hold her. I had nothing left in me. Closure. Kind of. 3 weeks later, the test confirmed it. The baby wasn't mine. That was the final nail. I filed for divorce. Rachel didn't fight it. There was nothing to fight for. Sierra reached out again. She and Carl were separating too. We had one phone call. Shared a few sad laughs. We talked about co-parenting, court, lawyers. Then we never spoke again. The kids took it hard. Emma didn't talk to Rachel for nearly a month. Jake cried every night for a week. I got them both into therapy. I started going too. I needed it more than I thought. It's been almost a year now. I live in a small rental house not far from our old home. The kids come on weekends. Rachel and I don't speak unless it's about them. Sometimes I still sit up at night and think about all the little moments that led here. All the times I ignored my gut. All the lies that started small and ended with me on the couch holding a hotel key card. I'm not bitter. Not anymore. Just tired. And a little wiser. People say time heals. I don't know if that's true. But time does give you space. And in that space, you find something new. Clarity. And maybe, one day, peace. I'm not sure where this path leads. But at least now, I'm walking it with my eyes open.